We live in the world of cognitive warfare today. This is a lot like George Orwell's 1984, where you don't know what's going on anymore. So I'll tend to I'll read the newspaper and I'll try to read one or two books a month. But if you talk to some folks, they may not be reading books once a month. They may not be reading a book a year. They may not be reading newspapers. My parents will watch Fox News all the time. And I've got a close friend who just gets all of her information from scrolling social media. So you kind of now are relying on a centralized source of data. And if you take a look at social media, it's gotten really weird. Think about what social media looked like last year. What were you seeing? I think you might have seen clips from wars being shown, and there was talk about genocide. And there are definitely problems, but you were seeing old videos being brought up to kind of just get everybody worked up. The dynamics of social media, the anger and the hate and all of these things are steerable. If you take a look at certain text-based social media sites, one was bought by a billionaire, and it made a huge change last year. The types of content that got bounced or that were boosted were based on political parties and those topics associated with it. And on top of it, you had bots working on that system. So if you ever see specific types of content saying, well, maybe like, oh, Russia's good, if you click on that profile, take a look at it, turns out that most of their content is saying Russia is good. So there's big bot systems. Maybe 30% of some social media apps are just, they're just content run by foreign countries. So this is called cognitive warfare. And you can do a whole bunch of things. On some accounts, if you talk about Tibetan independence or Taiwanese independence, you get hit by spamouflage, where a country that wants to kind of take over those countries floods the area with contents that are either critical of the person making the statement or are positive about, say, China or something like that. So the comment section is controlled by bot systems and hybrid warfare. If you take a look at the content itself, some things like Russia Today, RT, generate content with a specific bias and they push it out. And then other people pick it up. So you can either use a sock puppet account, which might be an account in America that boosts that information, or it could just be somebody who sees it and then they innocently retweet it, because you can frame arguments to match what the right thinks or what the left thinks, and you can still get your core message out. All of these things are kind of used to manipulate us. The algorithms themselves are a lot like the editors of news shows or newspapers. What you see on your For You page is not really what you want to see. It is what the app engineers want you to see. And all of that can be modified and changed and manipulated so that we think in certain ways. Maybe we want to go out and buy an expensive car that we see, or maybe the app wants you to vote for a specific politician. The algorithm, on top of that with the bot systems and all these sock puppets, can change our minds and make us think certain ways. This is like the world of 1984, and we're not talking about it enough, even though it's changing everything around us.